Okay, so we are recording. Say hello to everyone who watches the recording. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Danielle, you're a rock star for getting on. I know that it's super late on your end.
Yeah, my husband's not off work yet, so I have nothing else to do.
Glad you're on. Okay. Mute. Are you muted? Okay. All right, so welcome again to our team call. Today's Wednesday, February 22nd. This is scheduled at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It is now, what time is it? My phone's not telling me. I don't know, it's like 8:10 or something. And it's later in other parts of the US, but thank you guys for getting on. I don't have a topic name for today, today's call, because it's kind of a surprise and I'm not going to be talking. I've done this in the past and there's only so much that I can teach you guys, and I love you guys learning from other top coaches in the company. I've done this in the past and I think you guys have been very well receptive to it. Me playing like another person's team call. Most of you know who this person is. She's amazing and she's blonde. She's very, very, very motivating, and this call for tonight, it's not going to be a step 1, step 2, step 3, here's how to do this. She's really going to help build up that belief and that vision that you need, which I think is something that our team is lacking right now. If you don't believe in yourself, you can't really accomplish anything in life, and especially in this business. Like, you need to believe in yourself, you need to believe in the products, you need to believe in the business in order to really get anywhere. Sure, you can go off and learn how to use Instagram and Facebook and how to talk to people and how to be a leader and how to be a coach. But if you don't believe in yourself, no one's going to believe in you. You have to believe in yourself first before other people can believe in you. So it's a really good call. So I'm going to try to go through quickly the slides that I do have, and then I'm going to play that video for you guys. I listened to her call on my way to work, so I could not write notes, but I was super fired up. And I was like, what am I going to teach the team about tonight? Like, there's so much that I can teach you guys, but I'm like, okay, they really just need to build up that belief again. They need to really dig deep into your vision. And it was such a good call. And I was so inspired by, after the call, but it sucked that I was driving because I couldn't take notes. So I'm excited to re-listen to it tonight together as a team, and I'm going to be taking notes. So that's that. Okay, so a little bit about, on the agenda, I want to real quickly recap on the National Wake Up Call. If you're a new coach watching this, the National Wake Up Call is a weekly call that the entire network of coaches, we receive that for free weekly. So every single Monday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, there is a nationwide training call that corporate gives us. So we listen in, and I never call in live. Here's the thing, I'll teach you guys this. Most of you already know from our newer coaches. You can download the podcast app onto your phone, look up Team Beachbody, and you will basically download an arsenal, this portal of national wake up calls from years and years and years to go. Every single Monday there's a new call, there's a new coach on the call, they're training us on something. Wherever they're finding success in their business, they're giving us their best tips and practices, and that's kind of our personal development, and that's how we're learning and growing from other people. That's how you learn. When you learn from other successful people. And they do a lot of recognition on that call, and that call is really important every week because that's when corporate talks to us. They tell us about if a new Shakeology flavor is coming out, or if a new program's coming out, or whatever. They give us the updates that we need to know as a network because they're the company. So it's a really important call, and it's every single Monday morning. I'm going to do a little bit of team recognition, and I want to real quickly touch on free summit ticket because we have new coaches that are joining our team now, and it's an exciting time, and I want you guys to be able to I want you to know about this opportunity because a lot of people don't know about it, especially when you sign up as a new coach. Let's get started. So these are 2 screenshots. You should already be receiving an email from Beachbody every single week. I think they send it out on Thursday, maybe Friday. So it's like an email newsletter. And you know what? I just remembered you actually have to sign up for the newsletter. some of you are signed up for it and some of you aren't, but I won't get into that later. We can just talk about that later on the team page, but you actually have to sign up for this newsletter now that I remember. And it's a newsletter. It's a newsletter from Beachbody, and it's basically a weekly reminder with like a picture of the coach that's going to be talking. And to be honest, like it's always been one of my goals to be asked to be on the National Wake Up Call. And it's a really scary goal because 4,000 to 6,000 people get on this call live, but we have close to 500,000 coaches within our Beachbody network. So a lot of people listen into this call. So it's pretty cool. My actual coach, Lindsay, she actually spoke on the National Wake Up Call, I want to say about 2 years ago. So it's something really cool to be able to say, like, I was asked to speak on the National Wake Up Call. So last week's call was really good for my new coaches. I'm going to have you guys actually listen to this. I'll be messaging all of the new coaches. They've never done it, like in the 4 years that I've been a coach, they've never done anything like this before. So they basically interviewed 2 new coaches. Like one of them, this girl, Jackie, she's been a coach for like 6-7 months, and the other one has been a coach since like last June. So both of them they've been coaches for under a year, and they are seeing like massive success, but they're both working full time. They got their own things going on. They just added Beachbody into their life. So it's not like they're working Beachbody full time, but what they're able to create with the time that they have, it's really inspiring. And one of them is like, she's just like on fire. I think it was Jackie. So it was a really good call. So I'm going to have, for my veteran coaches, if you didn't listen to last week's National Wake Up Call, I really encourage you to listen to that call. And for my new coaches, I'll be having this will be like a little homework assignment. And then today's National Wake Up Call, I listened to it on my way home from work, and it legit made me cry. Like, it takes a lot, like, I don't know, for someone on a call to like make me cry. And she's Hispanic. She was basically talking about her why was she's a military mom or wife, I should say, and mom. And they were struggling financially up until like a year ago, and they had to downsize from their home to an apartment. And her kids are older, like one's like 14, another one's 8. And they kept asking, like, when are we going to have a home again? When are we going to have a home again? And she's like choked up on the call, and she literally like just started crying because she was like, this is it. Like, I have to build this. Like, it's do or die. She had like a very good job at a bank, but she was never home. Her husband was deployed 6 to 9 months out of the year, and her kids were basically being raised by a babysitter. She's like, yeah, here I am at a bank making great money, but I never see my kids, and I'm never with my husband. And look, now we're struggling financially, and we have to downsize from a home to an apartment. Now my kids are like, why are we in an apartment? Like, when are we going to have a house again? So that was super, super inspiring because, for like you guys, as many of you know, like my goal has been to like eventually buy like our own house, but everything is so expensive here in Southern California. So it's my goal to be at that place financially where we could like purchase something and be, stable and not have to live paycheck to paycheck and be comfortable where we live and not have to, resort to something small or something like in not a nice area. So I really related to her, and I got really emotional, and I was like, it really made me think about like my why. So it was a really good call. So if you guys listen to both of them, they're always under 30 minutes. So you can do it while you're cleaning, cooking, driving, whatever. I encourage you guys to listen to that. Okay. So I wanted to do some quick recognition, even though I did it last night on our team page. Danielle, since you signed up as a coach that like really wants to, dive into like coaching, I added you to our bigger team page, which is the Diamond Council. So I don't want you to get overwhelmed or confused, but we have 2 team pages. The Diamond Council, which is like our big mama group. That's my personal coach, Lindsay's team. So it's much more bigger than ours. She has close to like 1,000 people in that group. She's been a coach longer than I have. And she obviously has other coaches that have built their teams. And so everyone's a part of that group. So that group is great to go in there and ask a question, and you'll get an answer almost right away because there's so many people in that group. And then we have our little tribe that we are still growing, the Rise Tribe, and that's where we communicate more like on a one-to-one basis with our team and my person-sponsored coaches. So I just wanted to kind of put that out there. So we welcomed Kimberly, Kelsey, and Sochit. Sochit is not on Facebook yet, but she is planning on getting one. We met on Instagram. So she's still working on getting up her Facebook. Kelsey, we met on Facebook as well. And Kimberly, I met through, like I said last night, I met through one of my good friends, and she was referred to me. So yeah, I just wanted to welcome you guys to our team, and I'm so excited that you guys are here with us. And I'm so excited if you guys are watching this recording or if you're on live, this is your first team call. Okay, so this is for my new coaches. If you're a veteran coach, you unfortunately cannot cash in on this, but Beachbody has this cool recognition program where it's basically if you help 2 to 3 people get started on their journey, your first 3 months, which is so doable. You actually listen to what I say and do it and do our training. It's very simple and it's very doable and it's not overwhelming or complicated. You guys earn a free ticket to Coach Summit. I have never missed a Coach Summit. Coach Summit is our big annual event that we have every single summer. We literally, coaches from Canada, from Puerto Rico, all over the US fly to this one spot, and we get together, and it's grown every single year. Like my first year, there was 4,000 coaches. My second year, there was 7,000. My third year, which was in Nashville, there was 9,000. Last year in Nashville, I've been to Nashville twice. There was 25,000 coaches in Nashville. Like we took over Nashville, and it was crazy, and it was so much fun. And like, there's nothing like getting to a live event, like a big event like this makes it so real for you. Like it's more than like us being behind a screen, talking through messages, even meeting for coffee for like with my local coaches. Like you have to get to an event and you have to see what this company is about and like what they can offer for you. And you have to see, it's cool that you get to meet people on our team, but when you see other people, like it just makes it that much more real. Like you're like, wow, like there's actually other people like doing something with this. So events are key, and this event is one time a year. So it's been a priority for me from when I signed up. My first 2 years, I financially could not get myself there, and I still did. I put it all on a credit card. And then I vowed after my second year that after that, everything would be paid for in cash. And my third and my fourth events that I went to, everything was paid for completely in cash with my Beachbody income. That was a goal of mine. And I made it happen. Like my first year, I was like, I couldn't even like afford to sign up with Shakeology. Like I was like 19, I had just turned 20, I think. And that was it feels like such a long time ago, but I made it happen. Like I don't know like how many credit cards we used, but I went. And it's been a priority since then. And these events are crazy because you get to meet all of the celebrity trainers, not one-on-one, but you get to work out with all of them. You get like training from all of the top coaches in the company. You get to meet your team in person. Cause I've had coaches where we meet like online and we've never met in person. And these events is like where we get to meet and hang out together for 3 to 4 days. So it's super awesome. And I want you to know that your month begins your third, like, so say you signed up one day, like that 30-day calendar month begins the day that you sign up. So you have 3 months to earn that free ticket, which is awesome because after that, we can just help you earn, enough to pay for your flight. And hotel expenses, we always share them. We split it so it's not expensive, and take cash for like food, and that's it. And it's super doable, and we have enough time to help you save up for that event. So for my new coaches, all you have to do is help 2 to 3 people, and we'll get more into that once you begin your training. But I just want you to know that the opportunity is there. And I'll send you a video about Coach Summit. I'll send you this link so you can check out the website and pictures and get more detailed info. But it's such a good opportunity for new coaches, and it helps you get that instant success. Like, like, dang, after 3 months, like I earned a free ticket to Coach Summit. The tickets cost like $300, I think. So it's a free ticket. So super fun. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention that this year we're going to New Orleans, and it's our first time going to New Orleans. The last 2 years we were in Nashville, and the 2 years before that we were in Vegas. But we keep outgrowing these places. In Beachbody, I think they're only like signing on 2-year contracts for like different places. And I think it's pretty cool that they're kind of taking us everywhere, because if it wasn't for Beachbody, like I would have never I've been to Vegas before, but I would have never gone to Nashville. Like I don't have family in Tennessee. Like there's nothing out there for me, but I got to visit it twice because of this company. So it's pretty cool. Okay, so now I want to get into the meat of this call, which is the video that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. So basically, Bonnie Engel, for my newer coaches, she is someone to like look up to. I feel like I relate to her in a lot of ways. She's not a mom, but she's very young and she's married. But she just has a way of like motivating people, like the way that she speaks. And she's had a lot more success than a lot of coaches have in like under 3 years, which is crazy. And it's inspiring because some of us have been coaches longer than that time. And this isn't for you to compare yourself, but this is just to hopefully instill that belief in you and that vision that you need to really take you far and for you to really create something with this, because we're not here to waste time. Like, I don't want to waste your time. I don't want you wasting your time. Like, you have to really want this. And if you do, like you have to have that belief. Like, you have to work really hard on building up that belief in yourself and having a vision for you and your life and your business. Let's get into the call. I'm going to grab my notepad. Let's see. She makes funny faces.
Yay! Oh man, that's so nerve-wracking. Last time I did like an entire call, a couple times, like 4 or 5 calls ago, I did like an entire call and it was completely silent. My Google Hangouts is a little bit weird sometimes. So I will let some people hop on. I wanted to chat really quickly before we got started about team call attendance, because I think it's so important for morale and belief and a lot of stuff that we're going to be talking about tonight on the call. You know, I talk to a lot of people every single day who are on the team, whether it be in the team page or on a one-on-one call or in a message back and forth about them lacking motivation or really not knowing where to turn. I can remember in the beginning of my business being so excited for team call nights and being so excited and itemizing out 1 hour of my time per week, right? So that's what percentage of your week? An insanely small percentage of your week. Blocking out that time to be on live. And regardless of what I had to do, whether I had to like talk to my husband or switch around some things, of course there were times where I had to miss. Of course, I'm a human being and I worked a lot of jobs in the beginning, but essentially I can remember so clearly being so inspired and so ready to go after team calls, right? Being so tied to other people, seeing other people on live, seeing other people's comments, knowing that those people need to sacrifice too to be on at that time. And for me, that was really important for my motivation, for my morale, for moving forward, for having a successful business. And I don't know that a ton of people have that same kind of value towards team calls, especially if you're have been a coach for a little while, maybe a year or two, and you started to fade off on attendance. That is where I see people starting to drop back in their business. You know, if you had a regular 9-to-5 job and Thursday morning meeting was part of your job, you would always be at that meeting. Team calls are such a large part of personal development. If you don't have time to get your personal development in all week and you get on the team call, that's totally okay with me. But I have the same size team as Angie Belmar, who spoke last week. And when she spoke on our call last week, she's an incredible coach, and most people would give anything to be on a team call with them. There were 30 people on the team call out of 4,140 coaches on the Shine Dynasty. 30 people made the effort to get on that team call. And it blew my mind thinking about that number and thinking about the opportunity to take incredible things away from that call that was sort of pushed to the wayside, right, by a lot of people. So I want to encourage you guys, if you don't see someone on this call, if you don't see them commenting, comment if you're here so I can see some names and see who's on. If you can't comment, you have to sign into your Gmail so that you can be able to comment on the live stream. I can see the comments scrolling on my right-hand side, so let me know that you're here. If you don't see somebody on this team call who you are totally, you're on your husband's account, that's funny. who you see in the team page, who you talk to on a regular basis and you don't see them here, get them on here. This is really a place to push your business forward. And I know it seems like a sacrifice, but it's a small one. And it's free content that you can take with you into your own business. Now, for me, if I'm a business owner, and I just cut my head off, and I'm struggling, and my upline is offering me free content for an hour every single week, I'm going to make the sacrifice to get on there. Anyway, I digress. Make this a non-negotiable for you, and make it a non-negotiable for people on the team who you care about. That is something to truly, success leaves clues, and that's something that I did in the beginning of my business, and it's definitely something that I still do. I'm always here on Tuesdays. Very rarely am I not. So I would really encourage you guys to make it a non-negotiable in your schedule. And if you don't see people on the team call, ask them why, and then tell them to get on. Tag them, call them, text them, whatever you have to do. All right, so I am pretty excited for this call tonight. I think a lot of people recently in this business are lacking probably the most imperative part to be successful. The most imperative part to be a successful coach in this business is belief. A lot of times people get so wrapped up in the how do I do this? What do I say? What's the right amount of time before I follow up? What do I say in that follow-up without sounding pushy? Can I word it this way? Can I word it that way? Would this come off weird? People get so stopped by the how in this business that they forget that it does not matter how. It does not matter how. And I'm going to showcase why it does not matter how, as long as you have unwavering belief in yourself and in this business. So many times people come into this business with a backdoor option. And this is why I don't like the 30-day money-back guarantee. This is why I don't like sales, because those words automatically give people the mindset of, okay, well, I made this small sacrifice to sign up for this, and worst case scenario, if it doesn't work out, then I can just cancel it and go back to what I was doing. That mindset is not ever the mindset of a successful person. Not ever. You will never see a successful person who wrote history or made a big wave in any sort of way who said, well, you know what? If it works out, it works out. If I move a couple people, that's totally fine. But otherwise, it's whatever. I tried. Absolutely not. Would Martin Luther King say that? Would President Obama say that? Would Rosa Parks say that? Absolutely not. Because that's not what people who make change and successful people do. That's not the mindset that they have. Unfortunately, with this business, that's a mindset of a lot of people, whether it be from fear or lack of confidence or whatever. And I'm going to talk about that tonight. I'm going to talk about why it's not so much the templates or the objections or the screenshots or when to message or what to message. But the thing that I see lacking in 100% of people who don't succeed at this business is faith and belief. Unwavering belief, visualization and belief. Some of you might be thinking, oh crap, I thought this was going to be a tactical call or something with some really concrete ways to move forward. I'm going to talk about some crazy stuff on this call that I don't normally talk about, because I want to reinstill that belief and also expand your mind's eye of the incredible opportunity that this has for not only you, but your family, the people connected to you, your family's family, and all of the people that come after you. I think that there was a time in Beachbody where we kind of stopped sharing about the opportunity in terms of income and what that can do for you and your family. And we started really talking more about, in a different kind of way. Hold on one second. Let me just key these slides up. I think they're backwards. I don't know if you guys can see these very well. Hold on. Let me see. Looks like a black screen to me. Okay, there they are. Now let me see if this changes something. Hold on one second, guys. I'm sorry. Okay. I'll roll with this. So I think there was a time where we switched to, because this company was built The beating heart of this company is people helping people get healthy and fit and live more fulfilling lives, right? That is the heart of this company, and that's what sets us apart really from other network marketing companies, is that of who we are and everything that we do, it comes back to we help people get healthy and fit. That is something that will never go away. It is something that is recession proof. Tony Robbins himself has said this week in a financial seminar that he's holding that health and fitness is the number one business to get involved with right now, right? And he has also said that he would, if he had to start over again, get in with a really good network marketing company. The potential is so overwhelming. We have a tendency to kind of put a Band-Aid on the fact that the opportunity is so big, right? And lean more on, well, we just want to help people. Opportunity is helping people as well. The business has helped me in insurmountable ways. Income, if you want to help a large majority of people, or you want to have any kind of change, you have to have income to be able to do that. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the sheer opportunity and share some numbers with you guys, share where I started to how I got to where I am, because I think that gets clouded a lot of times. You know, we can look at top coaches, compare stories and length of time that you've been a coach to each other, which also lets doubt creep in and makes that belief go away. I want to talk a little bit about, you know, the cycle, how you reinstill that belief in yourself, because that's a really hard thing to do, right? I'm sure all of you, every single person on this live stream right now has had doubts about Beachbody and has said, well, you know, maybe I didn't get in early enough. Maybe it's a different climate right now. Maybe everybody has a Beachbody coach already. Maybe it's too saturated. Maybe Bonnie's the only one who can be successful. And that's horse shit. I don't know if you guys have seen, but we're doing an income surge, and we're going to feature some brand new coaches who are following the same trajectory income-wise that I did, that Lindsay Matway did, and that everybody did. I signed up probably 4 years later than Lindsay Matway. Time of sign up means nothing. Of course, times are always going to change. Social media is always going to change. The climate of consumerism is always going to change. And if you're not changing with it, then no business that you have will change, right? If you're not evolving with the times, just like your regular 9-to-5 job, whatever company you work for, Target, Walmart, they change their marketing all the time. In fact, they're all switching to social media now because commercial is dead. Every single company is going to have to change and mold. It's the people who get stuck on, I've been doing this for a long time and I'm not seeing results. I'm doing the same thing that worked 2 years ago and it's not working anymore. And, you know, this used to work for people, then that means that they're the only ones who can be successful and I can't be successful. They're the ones who fail, right? They're the ones who get stuck behind those limiting beliefs that don't mean a thing. I know a ton of you know my story, but just to reiterate a little bit, when I started Beachbody, I was so far from what success was. The reason that I started Beachbody is because I had heard of it a couple times, and we had been living in California. I had no idea what I wanted to do. We were in about $200,000 of defaulted student loan debt, and I was working 3 different jobs. I was a personal trainer at 2 different gyms, and I taught gymnastics. And I made minimum wage at all those jobs, and I was working really, really hard. I would wake up super early, and I would get home super late. When I stumbled upon the Beachbody opportunity, I thought, great, I already help people all day, try to get healthy and fit, not really effectively, and not really being compensated well for my time, but that's what I do. And then I found my coach, and I started scrolling her Facebook page. And she did such a good job of showcasing where her wins, right? Where the company took her as a vehicle, that it changed her life in all these different ways, and it answered all of the questions that I needed answered. It would let me do the same type of thing that I was really into, even though I knew nothing about personal training. I got certified for free through this gym, And I studied with these flashcards and took the test at home. Like literally I knew nothing. I helped more people with Beachbody coaching. I was using Beachbody workouts to train my clients. So if anybody tells you have to be a personal trainer to make real change, that's bull. So I was really spinning my wheels with, what do I want to be? How do I want to get out of this? And I don't want to work for someone for the rest of my life. I want to create something that has real change. So I started watching my coach, and I think, and listen closely to this, because I think this is the deciding factor between someone who's successful and someone who's not. And that is doubt versus confidence. I'm going to talk a little bit about that as the call goes on. But in the beginning, of course I had normal doubts. Of course I thought, well, I don't know anything and I don't have any followers and I'm from a small town. I actually don't know anybody who lives on this military base. I don't talk to any of the women. And when I found out it was network marketing after I signed up, I was like, crap. I just unfriended all these people from my college and my high school who I didn't talk to anymore. And I have about 200 friends and I'm cracked, right? Wrong. So as I started following my coach and I started scrolling back on her timeline to when she was in the same position, I started to say, oh my gosh, I could really do this. I could see myself being a top coach. And I visualized every single day being a top coach. I was never concerned with where I was. I acted as if I was a top coach. I thought about being a top coach. When corporate called me, I thought, yeah, of course they're calling me. I'm a top coach. I put myself in the mindset of, this is going to work. This is going to be my every single day. And I literally visualized every day where I was going to go. Of course I stumbled. Of course I doubted. But you cannot get stuck in that vicious cycle of doubt for too long. My point in going back to the beginning of my story is, I started at the same exact place as everybody on this call. These are 3 screenshots of my first couple posts. I went back to 2014 in my timeline today. And if you notice, if you follow me now, these look nothing like what I post now. Absolutely nothing. I stumbled. I fell. I had no following. This has 7 likes. That has 13 likes. That has 10 likes. I posted things that made me sound like other Beachbody coaches. I didn't know my voice. I didn't know how to differentiate myself from other people. And my point in telling you this is, everybody starts from ground zero. Somehow that gets misconstrued in the Beachbody world. Somehow people use other people's success as a reason why they can't be successful, which is absolute hogwash, right? Absolute hogwash. If I looked at these and I said, oh my gosh, these look nothing like Lindsay Matway's posts, I'll never be successful. Of course I'll never be successful, because it's in my mind and I can't get out of that subconscious brick wall that I built around that belief that I will never be successful. So of course that energy and that limiting belief is going to drip into every post, every call, every prospect conversation, everything. It's just going to drip everywhere. And that's what I see happening with people. They say, well, if it doesn't work out, I'll just go back to my job. Or if it doesn't work out, I'll join another company. Or if it doesn't work out, no big deal. It doesn't mean anything about me. It's the company's growth. That is the most deadly thought that you can have in this business. Because how are people going to follow you, invest in you, buy from you, join a challenge group, join your team, if you are not so in love and energetic about this opportunity that there is no doubt in your mind that it works, the products work, the company works, and everything works, and it will work for you, right? It might take you longer. It might take you shorter. But you have to have such a belief in your mind, like you do with your spouse, with your kids, with whatever else you're passionate about in your life, that this is it. This is your end all and be all. You picture yourself there. You can see yourself there. When you talk to people, you say, I'm going. You can come if you want, because this is what happens. When you don't have that belief, conversations are hard. People doubt you. People can feel your doubt. People can feel your desperation. People can feel that you don't know what to say. There's a difference between I don't have the answer right now and I'm not sure that it really works for that, but let me find out. There's a difference between unwavering confidence and being green and then being inherently dowdy about every single thing you're talking about, right? If your posts are, I got a workout in, but it really wasn't that great, and maybe you should probably try and do this workout, who would do that workout? No one. You have to trickle that belief first into your mind through affirmation, through getting so tied to it that you cannot let go, then through your posts, then through your conversations. Did you ever find someone on Facebook or Instagram or a blog and you're so attracted to their energy and their positivity and whatever they're talking about, whatever they're selling, you're going to buy it. Even if you're a bald person and they're selling a hair product, because they believe in it so much that it moves you, right? And a lot of people come to me and they say, I don't know how to pitch this, or I'm getting a lot of objections, or I don't want to seem pushy, or I can't really seem to build this. What are some of your tips? My tips are, you don't believe well enough. You don't believe it enough for yourself, right? You don't believe you have the potential to be a top coach. You don't believe you have the potential to hit Success Club. If you're constantly saying, I wish I hit Success Club, I'm trying, sad face, I'm pushing, I'm really trying, that's not believing that you're going to do it. And that trickles into your actions, and it trickles into your conversations, and it trickles into your social media. So now, knowing that I started at the same place as everyone, knowing that in the beginning, I had no social media knowledge. Some of you on this call went to high school and college with me. You know who I was. You know what I used to do. You know what I studied. I had no one to help me. I of course had an upline like all of you have and access to the same things. But it's not about knowing what to do. If you believe in something so much, you'll figure out the what. If you have a why, you'll figure out the how, right? So in my first year, I made $18,000. Great, awesome. Barbie was studying Shakespeare, so not anything worthwhile. 2014, I made $18,000, which for me, I was like, yeehaw, that's awesome. First year, by the last week of the year, I was making $1,000 a week. Now that is extremely fast in this world. Do you want to know why that's extremely fast in the Beachbody world? Because I could not have this work. I worked every single hour I wasn't at a different job, I was working. I made a deal with Andrew when I saw my coach's income progression, and I said, this is what's possible for me. Okay, here's where I could take this, and here's where I want to take this, and I believe I can. Now I'm going to need this from you. And if you guys listened to the house call, we talked about that too. We talked about that conversation that we had. If you have not seen this progression, do not get discouraged. Let this serve as inspiration. Start from where you are. This is the second thing that is a surefire recipe for failure. Is that people start to compare my story or someone else's story, oh, there's a typo on this slide, to your own story, to your own time within coaching, to your own time within your own business, whatever it is, and then you start to fail. If you look in all these other directions, there's no way you can keep going forward. Has anybody ever seen that graphic of Michael Phelps and the guy who lost to him? I don't even know his name, right? And he was constantly looking over his shoulder at where Michael was. And even right before the touchpad, he was looking at Michael. And he lost by a half a second because he was looking at the competition. You cannot compare someone else's life to yours. You cannot compare someone else's journey to yours. Everyone is unique and different and has different things, right? My belief was so hard in that first year, I'm pretty sure I didn't sleep in 2014 because I was pushing so hard. It was infectious, right? And little by little, I started to build my business. In 2015, I made $240,000. Now that's insane, right? By the last week of the year, I was making $7,000 a week. In 2016, I made nearly $700,000, and the last week of the year was $10,000 a week. I do not share this to brag. I do not share this to make you compare. I do not share this for any other reason than to show you what is possible for someone like you watching this live stream with this opportunity. If you agree that you believe and you're going to figure it out no matter what, this is the possibility. Now, in a regular job, this is not a possibility. I encourage people, my team listening to this, to surpass me, right? In a regular job, we're never encouraged to surpass the boss to make more than the CEO, right? Because that would mean that person's losing their job or falling below, right? Here, I'm encouraging you guys to have the same journey, if not bigger than me. And it should take you less time from this point forward because I'm giving you all the answers, right? We have slides and slides of objections and messages and team calls and team pages and trainings, diamond pushes, emerald pushes, new coach trainings. But what I see is the same thing that I saw on last week's call. Only 1% of people actually engaging in the past new coach training. There was one person, Christine Kennedy, commenting on every single post. And all 30 other people in the new coach training didn't even comment on any of the trainings. Now, if you get into this business and you don't want this kind of success, that's totally cool, right? If you want it to be, if success for you means I want to have a part-time job that I really love, that gives me some extra income, that's totally cool. I'm not speaking to you. But you have to define what you want out of this and then decide that you have the potential. There's a lot of people that look at income progressions like that and they say, oh, that could never be me. I could never make that. Or I could just make half of that and then I'd be happy, right? And that's what a lot of you are saying right now. That's what a lot of you are saying right now, right? A lot of you are saying, oh man, if I could just make what you made in their first year, then I'd be happy. No, those are too low expectations for yourself and for this business. What that should give you is an expanded sense of opportunity. Like, whoa, am I treating this like a $700,000 a year business? Probably not. Should I be doing that? And then if I did that and believed wholeheartedly because my coach did it or my upline did it, then that means I could do it because I have access to all the same things she had, then I should push forward with unwavering belief? No, some people don't think that, right? And that's exactly right, Sabrina. That would make it easier to take care of your children. So that should be your why. Every time you feel doubt, every time you don't want to invite someone, every time you're like, I don't know what to say, every time you're like, my challenge group sucks, no one's participating, your why is driving you forward. So what? Those people don't need to come. They'll come eventually down the road, but you're going. Your reality is a reflection of your strongest belief. Your strongest belief, that's your reality. So if you believe in your heart of hearts, maybe you've been having some doubts lately and you've been thinking, maybe Beachbody is not for me. It's just a lot of social media and I don't know, I'm just not working. I've been a coach for 4 months and I'm not seeing anything. Your reality is your strongest belief. Whatever you're saying to yourself over and over and over again in your mind about this business is what's true about this business, right? Whatever you believe is how the business is for you. A lot of people have the stream of success very different, right? A lot of it stems from what you believe you have the potential for. A lot of people think, well, once I see results, then I'll have belief, and then I'll have the potential, and then I'll take action, right? So a lot of people get into coaching and they think, well, once I make $400, then I know it's successful, and then I'll do things, and then I'll have the belief. Once I see something, once I see some kind of reward in my life from this business, then I'll believe that it's true. Then I'll push forward, right? That's what the majority of people think. Not so. Not so. The way it works is you have to believe you have the potential first with no answers, no knowledge, no nothing. And then you have to take the action based on that belief of potential, which creates results, right? That's how it works. You have to have belief first. that you have the potential, then you take the action based on that belief of potential, then you have results, right? And then that feeds into itself and keeps going. A lot of people have it backwards. Well, once I see results, then I'll take massive action, then I'll have the potential, then I'll have the belief in the company, and I won't have a back door. I won't burn the bridge. One of, this graphic is actually from Tony Robbins, and if you guys listen to a lot of my calls, I love Tony Robbins. There is a man, it is escaping me right now. Oh my gosh, the name is escaping me right now. He's the first man to ever run a 4-minute mile. And before, in the world, in the history of the world, there had never been a person who ran the 4-minute mile, right? Before that, it was 6 and above. Once he ran the 4-minute mile, in that following year, 37 people ran a 4-minute mile. Because all of a sudden, they believed it was possible. Does that not blow your mind? Up until that point in history, no human being had ran a 4-minute mile. And there were runners, there were trainers, there were doing the fastest mile, until that first person ran a 4-minute mile and put the idea in other people's heads that it was actually possible. Belief changes results. Thank you, Anna. Thank you. I was searching for that. Roger, yes. Belief changes results. So many people have it backwards. They think they need to see results first. Oh, and then I'll go to a Super Saturday. And then I'll buy a ticket to something. Or once I make this much, then I'll buy Shakeology. Absolutely not. That's not how the world works. You have to instill belief that you have the potential. If you don't think you have the potential, how will anyone else believe that they have the potential to join your team, to join your challenge group, to move forward, right? Okay, when you have vision and confidence, you will figure out a how. Here's some examples of what happens when you're not confident, right? And confidence is an inside job. I can't give you that. Other people can't give you that. Your spouse can't give you that. You have to give you that. You know, we all have stories that we've been telling ourselves since we were young. I can't do this. I don't deserve that. I can't be that. I could never be a top coach. I could never be this kind of coach. We all have that story, right? Your job as a successful human being is to get out from that, get out from those fears, false evidence appearing real, right? And gain some confidence for yourself, right? When you're not confident, you second guess messages. Don't hit Success Club. You don't follow up because you don't want to seem pushy. You have this weird language start leaking in. Hey, if you don't want to talk, it's totally okay. You know, if you're not interested, no worries, because you know, that's totally cool. I get it. No. You say, if you're not interested, cool, but I'm going and I'm inviting 30 more people, so if you don't want a spot, then that's totally fine. You look for alternative answers. You look for a reason outside of yourself that the opportunity that you're doing isn't working. Oh, it must be the product. It must be social media. It must be my upline. It must be my friend's upline. You know, she's doing better, so she must have a better coach, right? Having a way out. So saying, you know what, Beachbody is just not for me. It's just taking up a lot of my time. Guess what? Anything that gives you massive success in your life will take sacrifice at first, right? We're not talking to weenies. We're not talking to people faint of heart. And I'm not talking to you if you want this to be a side thing. That's totally cool too. Everyone has to define their own success in this business and in life, right? For me, I needed this to be something massive I could create, some massive change to make me feel like a valued human being in my family, in my life, and in the world, right? If you want that kind of change, you can never have alternative answers in your mind. Maybe I should start selling lipstick. Maybe I should start selling wine. Whatever the case, it doesn't work because you don't have the confidence in the first place, right? Second guessing everything. People can feel energy that isn't confident. I made that analogy earlier about if you ever like followed a blog or a Facebook page or an Instagram that's just like literally infectious. And one person that I can think of is Raina Odell. I don't know if you guys follow her, but she's one of my friends, and she's an amazing Beachbody coach. That girl has so much belief in Beachbody, in the programs, in health, that even when she was in the hospital recently, like 30 pounds down, like having a really hard time with her colitis, she was still someone that I was attracted to. She wasn't working out. She wasn't seeing results. She wasn't even working her business. But I was so attracted to the energy that she brought. She was infectious. She believes so much in what she does that I don't care what she was selling, I would have bought it, right? That's what confidence gives. And not confidence in yourself, confidence in the opportunity and the possibility. I just showed you what the possibility was in 3 years. Now you need to have that to yourself. What confidence looks like in the business. Sending messages no matter what. I hear a lot of the times, well, I don't know what to say to this. What should I say? Or, I should probably wait a couple days. If you don't invite someone, another top coach will. Boom, mic drop. If you aren't doing the work, someone else will. And I can tell you that without a shadow of a doubt, right? Trial until failure and then trial again. Listen, no one successful, not just in Beachbody, in the world, has ever done something once and then all of a sudden been successful. Every single famous story of success is of tribulation and trials and failures. I mean, some of the famous ones that you see all the time, Oprah, Steve Jobs, J.K. Rowling, Tony Robbins, all of those people who have created massive success in their lives, they've all failed a million times. But for some reason, we can look at that and say, yeah, that's awesome. But for ourselves, when we fail, all of a sudden we start second guessing everything, right? That income progression and my business might not look like it had any failures to you, but it did. I missed a lot of goals. I had a lot of setbacks. I had coaches quit. I had leaders quit. I questioned my leadership. I questioned, if I'm good enough. I've had a lot of doubts. I've had a lot of failures. I've had posts that bombed. I've had people who hate me. I've had people who block me. I've had all of it. I've had people who said no. I've had people who have reported me. I've had people, all this stuff. But my belief, no matter what, keeps me going every single time. My belief is so strong that I don't care if people say no. I don't care. I know what I have works. I know what I have is translated into my life. And I know that I can push forward, right? You have an infectious language and you move people to follow you. It's not about the massive success. I don't post that income graphic on my public page. It's not about the kind of success. It's about what the feeling you promote, right? It's about if you believe in something so much and it makes you so happy and you're moving forward and you're sharing failures and you're sharing trials and you're being a real person, that's automatically going to want people to join you, regardless of what you want them to join for, right? Confidence and belief. It doesn't even have to be confidence. Confidence is probably the wrong word because confidence, I think, gets misconstrued sometimes with like body image and all of that kind of stuff. I mean confidence in the opportunity, right? Confidence in where you are, confidence in what you're doing, confidence in what you're offering other people. I don't mean confidence as in the way you look and sound and feel and all that kind of stuff. I mean confidence in what you're pouring into, right? That equals success. But how do you get there, right? How do you get to be successful? Because in the beginning, I was very doubtful. I was like, okay, what's this weird network marketing thing? Okay, I'm gonna post all the time. Then I started to see little wins and I was like, oh, that's fun. That's cool. That's intriguing. Oh, I got 10 challengers. Oh my gosh, I got a $100 paycheck. That's really cool. And I started to kind of plant the seeds of confidence and belief in that. And a huge part of it was the things that my coach showed me, which I can show you guys, right? With that income progression and with belief and with my failures and whatever helps. But the biggest part of it is what you believe, right? Because that's ultimately true. Whatever you believe, whatever your reality is what you believe. If you believe you're struggling, then you are. But if you believe you're happy, then you are, right? And that's the reason that, they say that if they took all the wealth away from everyone in America, it would go back to the same people who have it because of belief, which translates into action, which translates into results. If you have a poverty mindset, then you'll always be in poverty. And Tony Robbins talks about that a lot. And that's something that I struggled with for a long time. But it ultimately comes down to belief in your potential every single time. You must become unshakable in the belief that you are worthy of a big life. And it kills me that I've talked to people so many times who don't believe that for themselves, whether it's personal, whether it's income driven, whether it's fitness and in a challenge group. I talk to so many people who say, I can't be that kind of success. I can't have that, and it comes in a lot of forms, right? I don't have enough time. I'm too tired. I work a long job. I have 3 kids, whatever, right? And of course, there's going to be stumbles upon the way. There's going to be days that you don't believe. There's going to be things that are hard to post. There's going to be things that flop. You're going to fail. But that doesn't mean anything. Like, I always say, would you tell your child who's learning to walk when they fall that they probably shouldn't learn to walk anymore and we're just going to order them a wheelchair and wheel them around all the time because they fell? Like, it sounds ridiculous when we put it that way, but we're so hard on ourselves, right? We're so hard on ourselves that we can't even fail on one post or not get any challengers, and then all of a sudden somebody quits. Like, literally, that blows my mind. So recently I've had a couple new coaches sign up, and they didn't hit Success Club the first month and they quit. That to me is a problem with our society. What have we been teaching ourselves? That there's no failure allowed in life? That keeps us in such a little box. Could you imagine? No one would try to get any job or get any degree or go to anything if that was the case. If I never failed, I wouldn't be sitting where I am in this house with my husband who doesn't have a job either, right? And the disclaimer was all over this call because nothing that we have has come without hard work, and it's not a get-rich-quick scheme, but you have to believe. And that's the biggest thing. That's the number one thing I see with failure in this business is that people don't believe. They give themselves an out, and then once they give themselves an out, it starts trickling in a little bit more and a little bit more. Burn the bridge. Burn the bridge. Okay, I'm going to look at it. Girl, if you're hard on yourself, then stop it. This is the thing. We are in control of everything we think and believe, right? If you are in belief that you're not doing good enough or you need to be hard on yourself, you're the only person creating that. You're the only person forcing that feeling on yourself. And listen, I struggle with anxiety every single day. Every single day. I had a panic attack 2 weeks ago. Do I let it define me? Absolutely not. Did I have a bad day? Absolutely. Do I say I had a panic attack, therefore I didn't get any work done, therefore I suck, therefore I shouldn't move forward? People who are hard on themselves or hide behind fears or hide behind anxieties aren't doing themselves justice. What's the worst thing that's going to happen if you move forward, right? Life is moving forward. We're either going to move forward with it or we're going to stay stuck. You are the only person placing these beliefs, these feelings, these actions on yourself. If you're being hard on yourself, change some actions that you don't like and move forward, right? My point of this call is to showcase again the insane, incredible possibility of this business for you. There is no map. There is no exact science. There is no exact time, but the potential is there. The potential is more there here in this opportunity than any other opportunity that I've researched, done, and I've had a lot of jobs in my life. I worked in communications. I worked at NBC 10. I worked as the director of operations at a medical marketing firm in New York City. I worked as a bartender. I worked as an actress. I worked as a personal trainer. I worked as a gymnastics coach. I've had every kind of job that you can have. And I have never seen the type of potential that I see in this business for anyone, right? You don't have to have a degree, a certificate, any knowledge, anything. Literally get in with a workout program and then follow what your upline says to do. And that's the possibility. Like, that's insane that more people don't take advantage of that, and we're all stopped by what's up here. There's nothing standing in front of anybody on this call except for yourself, except for yourself, right? Those beliefs either fester and cause the disease of doubt, or those beliefs grow and cause success, right? You have to choose. And there's always going to be a battle. Listen, there's no way to constantly have these thoughts and not these thoughts. I struggle with it every single day of my life. And I have for the past 3 years of my business. And I will continue to struggle with that in multiple ways in my life, not just in this business. But it's about what you choose to water every single day. If you choose to water those fears, or if you choose to water the beliefs that you have the potential to grow. There is nothing different about anybody on this call. Any 85 people on this call or me. There is nothing different. Absolutely nothing. No knowledge, no nothing, no special treatment, no insider, anything. Started from the same place. You saw some screenshots from the first year, and you saw my income progression. There's nothing different. The only difference is belief and consistency, and not stopping when I fail. That's the only difference. I've seen so many people with so much potential stop because of belief. And it is sad, because that's the only thing stopping people is their own insecurities and their own minds. You're the only thing stopping, right? I love you guys. Sorry for the tough love, but it needed to be said. Right now, we have some of the lowest numbers in Success Club to date. I don't know what is going on, but you cannot let these things define you. We have a week left, and you have all the potential in the world to hit Success Club. Success Club is so important in your business, you guys. Believe that you can hit it, and you will hit it. Do not wait until the last 12 hours of the month. Start right now. Start making those sacrifices that go with that belief, right? Treat your business like it is a $700,000 a year business, and you will get there. Treat it that way, believe it, and you will get there. I love you guys. Have a good night.
Was that crazy or what? This thing better be recording. I don't see it recording.
I know, because I missed some stuff because I don't know, something's wrong with my tablet.
I have on here the pause and stop recording button.
Okay, good.
Because you probably missed like the first half of the call, but I listened to that.
What time did you start? At 8 or 8:30?
I started at 8.
Oh, why did I think it was 8:30?
I know, I'm sorry. Our team
It's telling
calendar
me.
says 8:30, but the picture that I posted this morning said 8. Because I have a new coach that she's in Oklahoma, and it's 10 p.m. and she still got on for a little bit for her.
Okay.
So I was trying to like move it around a little bit.
That's fine. I was just confused. I'm like, wait, what happened? Okay.
Yeah, so I listened to that call on my way to work, and I'm like, that's just like what we need. Like, for some of you, like, you already know what to do, but it's just like you lack that belief and that vision for yourself and for the business. Like, if you don't believe in yourself, like, no one else is going to believe in you. So when I listened to that call, and she just did that call yesterday, so it's like fresh. And there's just so many exciting things going on. Like, we're going to, they announced that Super Saturday, the one that we didn't go to, we're going international. I don't know to how many countries or what's going on, but like, we're expanding, and there's a lot of exciting things going on this year. And like, you need to start like now, like the belief needs to be built up now so that you can, like, there's a lot of changes going on and a lot of momentum, but like, we as coaches, like, we have to be like there now. Like, we have to have that mindset. We have to have that belief, and we need to set ourselves up correctly. So when all those things are dropped this year, our new programs, going international, I think a new Shakeology flavor, stuff like that, we need to be prepared for that. So I hope that everyone, if you watch this recording, I hope that you got something out of this call. It's my second time listening to it today. I listened to it on my way to work, and I decided that was going to be our team call. It was very powerful for me because I still struggle with belief. But listening to this and watching her income progression, like, now more than ever, 4 years later, like, if she can do it, I can do it. Like, You know what I mean? Like, there's just like nothing special about her. Like, there's nothing special about me. Like, if she can do that, I can do that. And it's just constantly having to remind ourselves, like, to see the potential. And it's so true. Like, like she said, like we try to put this Band-Aid on the potential. Like when I talk to people sometimes, I'm like, you don't realize like if you really took this serious, like what you could create. You can't create this working at Wells Fargo as a personal banker. Like you can't create this working as, even with the teachers that I work with at school. I would just got done talking to my assistant principal today, and she was telling me about like, you know, she has a really nice house here in this area, and she got it when she was 22. And I heard her say something, and I'm like, wow, like I'm sitting on this opportunity where I could create $120,000 in 1 year if I wanted to. She basically said that she wanted to move to a different area, and she's like, I have to put 20% down for a house. She's like, where am I going to get $120,000 from? She's an assistant principal. She's making over $100,000 a year already for our district. Yet she's like, oh, we can't afford that. Like, so with her really high job, she can't even do that. You know what I mean? And her husband has a really good job. And I was thinking like, oh my gosh, here's Bonnie who made $600K and, retired her husband, and now they work together like in less than 3 years. You know what I mean? So not everyone has the eyes to see that, but for those that do, like I see it, and it's just like never giving up. So that was a powerful call. So I'm going to end this call here. If you ladies are up for chatting, I can open up a new chat, but since this is being recorded, I'm going to end it here. So thank you guys for hopping on the call, and thank you for watching this recording if you're watching the recording. Have a good night.